In this episode, we're going to talk about judging rubrics, two-part arguments, the chicken and the egg, and coaches being too nice? Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Ask Learning Leaders show. Coach Mike here, and here to answer any questions that you have or members of our community might want to put forward. Delighted to come to you guys today. Got back early this morning from Japan. Had an awesome day yesterday at the Pioneers Asia Conference. Went and saw a number of new startups, some education technology, some hardware, some software. Super cool experience, and I'm looking forward to bringing some of those new learnings and new experiences back into the Learning Leaders Learning Centers. Some really cool stuff coming on our way, so stay tuned. All right, besides that, other things to look forward to. Next week, again, bring a group of students to Pittsburgh, to the Shady Side Academy in Pittsburgh for the World Individual Debate and Public Speaking Championships. So stay tuned for that, and we'll be providing updates for everyone on the Ask Learning Leaders Instagram account. So follow us there. Again, if you want to ask any questions, reach out to your coach, email us at ask@learningleaders.com, or follow us on Instagram, where we're even getting some videos now from students who want to ask some questions. So without further ado, let's get into the show. All right, so first video here.
Hi, my name is Matthew and I go to SAS Pudong. And my question for Ask Learning Leaders is, what are the points that judges give debaters for?
All right, Matthew, thank you. So what are points that judges give debaters for? I think what Matthew's asking about here is the evaluation of the debaters from the judges. And to be honest, it really depends on two things. Number one, what style of debate that you're doing, and number two, the judge themselves. So although we'd love to think that judging is a perfectly objective activity, there actually is some degree of subjectivity to it. But Matthew, what I'll go into now are kind of the four major areas where judges are going to evaluate you and describe briefly how the points work. So one way to think about it is matter, manner, and method. So matter, what you deliver, like the content of your speech, manner, how you deliver it, and then method, the organization of your speech. So matter, manner, and method. There's also usually an additional component for crossfires in public forum or POIs, points of information, for parliamentary style debate. So what we've done at Learning Leaders is to break down matter, manner, and method a little bit further actually into strength of argument, delivery, and organization. So strength of argument is all about whether or not you're providing evidence and cogent reasoning and rationale and a well thought out impact for each point that you provide. That's also how much research you've done and the thinking that you've done before the debate, working with your team to make sure that your points and your arguments are really strong as you go through the debate. The second area, delivery, is all about how you present yourself. What is the posture of the speaker like? Are they using hand motions and gesticulations, or are they doing kind of weirder things with their hands while they're speaking? Are their hands just kind of coming up like this around their face? Hopefully not. So delivery is all about how you present yourself. Same thing with volume too. If you're speaking just like this and no one can really hear you, then it's really tough for the judges to give you a high delivery score. And then organization. How well signposted is your argument? Does your team provide clearly defined roadmaps or burdens or case lines so that the judge can follow along with you every single step of the way? And then lastly, as we mentioned, crossfire or POIs. Are you engaged? Are you asking challenging questions? Are you responding generally on topic and with kind of a calm, cool, and collected attitude about yourself? And also, did you prepare for the crossfire round? There's nothing a judge dislikes more than to see a student stand up for a crossfire round and go, does the opponent have any questions? Not only is it awkward for you as a speaker, but the judge is not going to be thrilled to see that you haven't prepared all that much for the debate. So Matthew, it's a great question. The judges look for a number of different things. You can think of it, remember, matter, manner, and method, or more specifically, if you want to think about strength of argument, delivery, organization, and then crossfire. That would be a good thing to remember. All right, on to the next video here. Let's see.
Hi, my name is Caroline, and I want to ask Learning Leaders, how are you so nice? Even when a debate is awful, you You are always so nice about your feedback. I mean, you say that the debate was awful, but like, you're so nice. How do you do it?
Caroline, thank you very much for your question and your kind words. Both are greatly appreciated. Well, Caroline, it's an awesome question. So how are Learning Leaders coaches so nice? I think we need to get another coach in here. So Patrick, what do you think? What do you think makes Learning Leaders coaches so nice?
They're passionate about what they do.
Passionate about what they do. All right, bang on. So
How could you not be nice when you're enjoying what you're doing?
I couldn't have said it better. How could you not be nice when you're enjoying what you're doing? Caroline, I think Coach Patrick hit the nail on the head. When we as coaches are giving feedback to students and we want to work with students and partner with them to make sure that they're improving themselves in the best way that they kind of see fit, for us, it's an incredibly positive experience. So even if a student makes a misstep or doesn't prepare well or maybe doesn't really 100% articulate what they meant to, for us, that's still a joyous and positive occasion to be able to be with you and guide you along this journey. So in terms of always being nice, I think, as you know, that coaches give both positive and constructive feedback to all students every single practice, without exception, I think. So we do want to make sure that you can continue to improve, but we also are having so much fun doing what we're doing every single session that I think it probably just comes across as being super positive and super nice, even when we're giving constructive feedback. So Caroline, thanks for your question. All right, awesome. All right, next one. Let's see here. Ooh, looks like we have three. We either have three people asking a question or three questions coming up in one. Let's see what this looks like.
Hi, Learning Leaders. My name's Shani. My name's Elaine. My name's Charlotte. Our question is, how many... What is our question? I'm so sorry.
Guys, I got this, man. Which came first, the chicken or the egg?
All right, Shani, Elaine, and Charlotte, after a well-prepared question, we're coming down to what came first, the chicken or the egg? Now, this is an all-time great debate question. And I have to quickly go back to definitions here. Because if we're going to define the egg as the chicken egg, then it becomes a much more interesting problem. If we're going to say which came first, the chicken or the egg, I'm going to 10 times out of 10 go with the egg. Because based on my understanding, lizards and reptiles and amphibians all have eggs or lay eggs that came around probably before chickens were on the face of the planet. Now, my evolutionary science is a little bit rusty, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. So I'm gonna go egg. When it comes time to whether the chicken or the chicken egg came first, it's kind of a toss-up, to be honest. It's kind of a toss-up. I'm gonna go egg. I can't tell you why. I have no idea why, but I'm sticking to my guns. All right, next question. Okay.
Hi, I'm Elgin. I'm from YCIS, and I'd like to ask the question that are two-part arguments very efficient in like 4-minute speech rounds or 2-minute speech rounds, like short kind of speech? Thank you.
Elgin's asking a really good question here, and it's about two-part arguments. Okay, so for those of you who aren't familiar with two-part arguments, the idea, and we cover this in the critical thinking course, first we need to know about syllogisms. So a syllogism is a deductive argument where a conclusion is derived from two premises. And it has three terms. So it sounds kind of like this. If all A is B, and if all B is C, therefore all A is C. Now there are many different forms of the syllogism, but that's the basic universal affirmative form. So what a two-part argument is, as Elgin's asking about here, is when you nest two syllogisms together. So when you have one syllogism, when you have one premise, that's actually proved by a conclusion in another argument. So it's a pretty sophisticated technique. It's a very challenging technique and tactic to get the hang of immediately, but once debaters get in the habit of having these syllogisms and nesting them within each other or kind of stacking them with each other, they have incredibly strong deductive arguments, which makes it super, super tough to disprove or rebut. So Elgin, thank you very much for that question. Okay, so can you use it in 4-minute speeches, I believe? And the answer is yes, absolutely. So you might not necessarily have time to prove multiple syllogisms within one 4-minute speech because you have to rebut, give the opening, conclusion, all that jazz. However, what you can do is you can provide one argument or syllogism, and then your partner or your teammate can use that conclusion that you've proved within the premise of another argument. So you guys together create a 2-part argument. So Elgin, you don't necessarily by yourself need to do it or have the time to do it, but you and your partner can work together and create one nested or stacked 2-part argument, which would create an absolutely strong case. So Elgin, absolutely, you can use it in short speeches. Just know that you might need to coordinate with your partner and talk about it in advance beforehand. So great questions, great questions. All right, I think that's all the time we have for the questions. So now on to the quotation of the day.
Quotation of the day!
I'm loving that. I'm loving that intro. Patrick, that is smooth. That's good. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, for today's quotation of the day, we are going to go up into space and hear from Jedi Master Yoda. And Jedi Master Yoda from Star Wars quotation is, "Do or do not, there is no try." So do or do not, there is no try. This to me is an awesome quotation talking about effectiveness and talking about getting things done that you want to get done. Now, there are two sides to this quotation, right? Some people feel that trying and giving your best effort is an admirable pursuit. And I would agree. I would say even if you don't complete something, even if you don't pass a test, even if you don't get your mile time below 5 minutes or 6 minutes, even if you don't finish that piece of artwork that you want to make, you tried. And that is amazing. That should not be discounted. On the other side of things, you have Yoda who's saying, you either complete it or you don't. It's a 1 or a 0, success or fail. And so I think there's something really important to be said for that too, right? So I'm torn, honestly. I'm pulled in both ends here. And to me, that's why this is such a fantastic quotation. And I think it's really relevant for debaters because in every debate that you have, you're either going to win or lose. You're either going to do or do not. You're either going to achieve your goal or not achieve your goal. However, that shouldn't mean that you discount the action of preparation and trying and doing your best in every single circumstance. So although the result is binary, yes or no, 1 or 0, win or fail, succeed, fail, the trying, the effort, everything that you take to make that happen, there is still value there. So Yoda, do or do not, there is no try. That is the quotation of the day today. All right, that's all the time we have for this show. Thanks very much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Quick reminder, if you want to submit a question to the Ask Learning Leaders show, reach out to your coach, ask them directly, or send us an email at ask@learningleaders.com, or follow us on Instagram and shoot us a video message or a message there, and we can put it up on the show. So thanks very much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.